So you're going to buy a G-Wagon. Which year is best for you? Well, in this video, we're going to do a year-by-year breakdown of the legendary W463 platform, so you can check out the model year ranges, the engine options, and the interior, because if you buy the wrong one, I don't want you getting buyer's remorse or ending up with a bad specimen. My name's Adam. Welcome to the G-Wheelin' YouTube channel. I do everything here for the love of G. I'm joined by Joe from Alliance Auto Care. He is the G-Wagon specialist and helped me produce not only these videos, but also the ultimate build and buyer's guide for the G-Wagon. So if you're in the market, click the link in the description right now. Joe, thanks for being here, man.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's rock and roll. Let's introduce each one of these three trucks. We're gonna hit the year range, the engine options, and give you an interior tour. Let's rock and roll.
Cool. We have three trucks here. Starting with our first one, we have a 2000 G500. The second one is a 2012 G55 AMG. The third one is a 2015 G550. We're going to walk through and look at some of the engine options real quick. On the first one, the 2000 G500. Now, there's a couple models prior to this one, but this is kind of the one everyone gravitates to. This one has what we know, the legendary M113 V8. This was Mercedes' big hurrah into the V8s, and this is probably arguably one of their most reliable V8s out there.
Some call it the Land Cruiser killer.
It is known as a Land Cruiser killer. I really like this motor. It's all aluminum, it's super light, and it is as reliable as it gets. Now, some of the key things: it's a single overhead cam motor, it's timing chains, it's 2 spark plugs per cylinder, and it makes 300 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. Nice round numbers.
Yeah.
It looks simple, it's neat, it's clean. Most importantly, it's easy to work on, parts are cheap, and parts are available almost everywhere. This is what we call a global motor.
Yeah, sweet.
It means if you're in Dubai, if you're in India, if you're in Japan, wherever, you can always get parts for it. So,
or if you're in Arkansas. Let's hop into the inside.
Yeah. So, moving around to the inside, we've got the original interior. This is the first gen 463 interior. You're gonna notice right off the bat, we've got a lot of wood, we've got a lot of mechanical switches, we've got a shifter down the middle, we've got all of our door switches here, and we've got my special cup holder. I love this. Yeah. For those of you who are getting tired of having your 10-year-old hold your Yeti cup, call me, get in touch. I'll get one of these in the mail to you. It's pretty easy. But one of the things I like about this, it's a definite sense of occasion. It's very rich, it's very tactile, it's very occasion feeling as you're going down the road. The truck does feel nice and wide. You've got a lot of room just because the door panels are unencumbered with a lot of stuff. So it's a great driving experience, and it goes down the road nice, and you have a great commanding view of everything. So this is represents the first gen 463 interior. This started in 91 and kept all the way through 2001. It's a good looking truck. I like these. They're classic. They're timeless.
Yeah, and for the
moving over here to the second truck.
Yeah, but Joe, before we jump into that second truck,
yeah,
this is perfect because the driving experience of these G-Wagons, it really doesn't matter what year. They're going to drive very similar. You'll feel the power difference, but I've had a privilege just tagging along with you to drive inside lots of Gs. They literally all feel the same. So if someone that says, "Oh, I want the newest," you'll find the platform remained virtually unchanged from 1976 to 2018. So if you're someone that just wants to get into a G-Wagon and you can find a really good specimen with the legendary M113 engine, this thing will run forever when maintained. The leather quality, I mean, how many miles were on this one again?
171,000.
171,000 miles on a 25-year-old truck. And when you look at the leather, there's no rips, tears, or cracks. Mercedes leather quality is out of this world. And as we tour through here, if you want to take a look at the locker buttons on these in the dash, you'll see those buttons there, and the steering wheel. And I'm showing you these so you can just kind of see how the evolution has changed through the years. So Joe, let's hop over to that G55 AMG.
Agreed.
And let's talk through what years was this generation.
All right, the G55. This is a really special truck. So this represents the first foray into America with the G-Wagon, MB USA. MB USA brought the truck in 2002, and the G55 didn't start to 2003, and it came in as a naturally aspirated model. So
they ran it till 12, right?
Yep, they ran it through 12. Now, the NA version of the 55 ran to 03 and 04, just 2 years. The compressor motor, that came out in 05. That's where things got exciting. You had a 490 horsepower compressor motor, which is a supercharged motor. So when you see compressor, that means supercharged, just so we know. But this is 491 horsepower of German ponies. Gotta love it. This sounds amazing. And it uses a 5-speed automatic, and they kept this all the way through 2012. They're robust, reliable, They work really well.
They just drink a little oil.
They drink a little oil. As they age, one thing you will note on these trucks is they will drink some oil. This one's got 131,000 miles on it, and it drinks 1.5 quarts between oil changes.
You know what though?
Not that bad.
My 2018 Audi Q7 drank about 1 quart between oil changes, which is normal. Blake, you have an Audi, you know this drill.
Yeah.
Blake, who's filming this, and it happens.
Yep.
You know, I'm not making excuses for anyone. You just gotta just say, hey, I want a G55.
I'll preface that's on a 5,000 mile service interval too.
Yeah.
So they're pretty easy to maintain. So
Yeah.
still uses the 113 motor, super reliable.
So this generation was available with the M113.
Yep.
Up until through 2012.
Yes.
So you had two options: G500
Or
or
the
G55 AMG. Let's take a look inside.
Yep. So come around here, Blake, hop in. I want to touch on a couple things here. So the big thing on these trucks, and this is a MB USA truck, is the first thing you're gonna notice is the door panel. It is physically wider. We've now got our door switches and our seat switches on the door. Not a big deal. Some people may not think about it. The one thing I will note is this will make the cabin feel a little snugger, being as now the door panels are wider and the seats are pushed a little closer together. Not the end of the world. You do get the updated dash with the instrument cluster and some of the new tech in there. And then in the middle of the dash, you've also got a command system with the diff locks up on top, and you've got the screen down below. This one's been upgraded. And then you've also got your shifter and a console with an actually integrated cup holder.
Yeah. You know, cool thing about these seats, which most people don't see, by the way, is this cool little compartment down here. And it's fun because like both seats have them. So you just got, because G-Wagons are short of one thing, and that's storage. So that's pretty neat. These Designo seats are fantastic. So this is a 2012 with 128,000 miles. These Designo seats were carried through into 2018 that look identical because they are identical. Same seat controls, same pneumatic pumps, same stitching. And again, from a vehicle that's however many years old this is, I'm terrible at math, you don't see any rips, stains, tears, or fading in the leather. Mercedes leather quality is unmatched. It's absolutely phenomenal. Steering wheel is very similar to the G500, the 2000. Again, slight updates. Still buttons on the steering wheel here, and the wood carries through. But the cool thing, Joe, you mentioned this too. You helped me update my G. One thing that people really want is they say, well, I want the latest tech. You know, I don't want to, I want a hands-free phone option, which believe me, I get it. You want to be able to talk on your phone and you want to be able to have your media playing. So this is an aftermarket head unit, yes?
It is, yep.
Yeah, and you can throw these in any G.
We put these in just about every truck that comes through here because we get the same question asked. How do I play my phone and how do I get a backup camera on these?
Yeah.
So this is a good example where we did add a backup camera and we did put something in there. There's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capable in this touchscreen. So
Yeah.
it makes it safer and just more ease of use going down the road.
So if you want to take your old G-Wagon and make it look new, because all the designs are virtually identical, especially to someone who doesn't know G-Wagons, you know, it's a timeless design. You do three things: wheels and tires, upgrade a head unit. What was it? Oh yeah, and then upgrade the suspension because they get old, they don't ride as nice, and you got what will feel and look like a brand new G and function just the same. So, who should be buying the G500 and who should be buying the G55?
Good question. This model, the G500 2002 through 2010, it's going to be your first time G buyer. Those of you that are on a little bit of a budget and need an entry-level vehicle to get in, this represents the best value on the market, period. Early G500s are inexpensive. There's a lot of them out there, and not a lot of them have a whole lot of miles on them. These are fantastic vehicles to get started with, especially if you want to do like an off-road build or something unique. Wonderful platform. Not a lot of money to get started, and you can do a lot with it. The G55 is for someone that wants to build a really bitchin' off-road platform and have a lot of power, a lot of fun with it. That's a great way to go. They are a little bit more maintenance intensive, but hey man, they're a blast.
Got to pay to play.
Yep.
Funny thing with this generation is if you're looking from the steering wheel backwards, you couldn't tell the difference between this 2012 to 2018. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So let's jump over to this 2015 G550. This one is my truck. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You'll see me wheeling this a lot. If you're not new, you recognize this vehicle. One slight upgrade, new beadlocks. We just did a video on that. Thank you to 463 Industries. Henry sent me these wheels. He did not pay for the video, but he was kind enough to send them to us and to put them through the test and give them honest feedback. But anyway, back to this.
Okay.
What motor options were available in this generation?
This is the M278 dual overhead cam naturally aspirated V8. So this represents the big leap forward technologically for Mercedes. They actually started this motor in 2011 in the G550 and then kept it all the way through the 2015 model year. This is the last hurrah for the naturally aspirated 5.5 liter V8.
13 to 15 is the year range for this generation, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
This generation, you can still get this motor in the prior generation through 11 and 12, but for this interior and so forth. This is a great motor. I love this motor. I think they're very reliable. They make the right amount of power for big stuff. They make the right noises, and they're very reliable. I have yet to see anything catastrophic go wrong with one of these. And I say that because we work on a ton of these, and they're super reliable. With that, the other thing, but aside from the motor, that is a huge technological leap forward, is going to be your transmission. You got away from the 5-speed automatic and you go to a 7-speed automatic. I think that's just as much of a game changer in the way the truck handles and drives as the motor, because it always keeps it in the right gear. And it is light years forward to where we came from. So that's on the mechanical side of things. Moving on to the rest of the truck, you're gonna notice it looks darn familiar to that truck on the exterior. Yeah. They share the same grille, they share the same headlights. It's very similar. The 13s through 18s, you get these cool little LED strips under the lights. That's how you can tell from the exterior of the upgraded.
But that's all upgradable too. Like totally. If you wanted that and you had an older truck,
we do a lot of those upgrades.
This is, aftermarket lights you can throw in.
Everything is changeable.
Everything.
What we're trying to say is these trucks are basically a fingerprint. You can make them as individualized as you want. If you want LEDs up here, great. If you want blacked out lights up here, great. If you want to do something different there, not a problem. We can make that happen. Yeah. So the key thing is, if you have something in the back of your mind that you want the truck to look like or feel like or drive like, let us know. We can make that happen any day of the week. Yeah. Now this marks the big change. And they started this interior in 2013 and ran this interior all the way through 2018. There are a couple subtle tweaks, primarily with the infotainment system, where 2017 and 18 you got Android Auto and so forth. And then the last hurrah, 2017 18, you got the flat bottom steering wheel and Alcantara. But 2013 through 18 is this general style of interior. Notice the door cards are very similar to the prior gen. They're upstyled just a little bit, but the seats look identical. They started these in 2010 and ran these all the way through 2018. Just because it's a great seat. It works really well. The other thing you're going to notice is the dash, the instrument cluster in the medical is a little different. It's got the dual gauge setup, and that kind of pays homage to the old school Mercedes 63 days. And then you got the floating screen up on the dash, which is also a leap forward when it comes to how these things look and feel.
And this display is upgraded. It's aftermarket to work with wireless Android Auto. The difference here, again, look at this, same designo seats as in the 2012. Same color, same little compartment down here, same everything. Again, minimal differences. If you've watched this channel, and if you haven't, welcome. I did another video showing the difference between this rig and then we have another 2018. Now you'll notice in 2017 and 2018, there's a couple small differences. Dash cluster changes. They made them a little bit more modern. The other thing you'll notice is in a 2017 and 18, or excuse me, 16 to 18, you do get a manual mode as opposed to just economy and sport. And in the introduction, I don't remember which year. Joe, do you remember what year it was where they introduced the auto start stop? Was that?
16.
16.
Yep.
So you will have auto stop start. And then again in 2016, was the introduction. Joe is the smarter guy to talk about this. 4-liter bi-turbo. Joe, what do we need to know about that engine and transmission?
The 4-liter bi-turbo is a unique one in that it is what they call a hot V. In other words, the turbochargers are in the middle of the motor, and it's a 419 horsepower power plant made with the same 7-speed transmission. They probably went to that for economy purposes. You get approximately 1.5 miles better fuel economy. Big whoop. But you do get more power. You get, oh golly, 60, 70 horsepower more than what you got with the naturally aspirated motor. So it is a step up from that perspective. The 63 variants of this generation, though, stuck with the 5.5 liter version just with 2 turbos strapped to it. Now is a big powerhouse. 560 horsepower, 7-speed automatic, all the noise. Man, that truck is awesome.
Yeah, so who should be buying one of these? Let's talk the 2013 to 15 and then the 2016 to 2018.
The 2013 to 15 are those who are looking for the ultimate daily driver, fully user experience. In other words, you can hop in this thing, take your wife out on date night, you can daily driver it to work and back. It's a nice enough truck that you can pick up clients with. There's nothing you can't do. Also, this is a fantastic platform. Probably one, arguably my favorite platform as an off-road build, just because it has all the right tech, it's not overly complicated, and it just works. So this is my favorite platform by far to work with. And if you've got a little bit of extra coin and you want something really nice that you can live with on a daily basis, it's going to be it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to add one more note because I'm a little off-road biased. I started this channel to document my off-road journeys. And Joe, you led me to this truck.
Yep.
Because I bought a 2018. We had a 2-inch lift and 33s. I started wheeling it. I started beating on it. My wife said, you shouldn't do this. We should get your own. I love my wife. She's amazing. And it led to this truck. We landed on this truck because I wanted a G550, naturally aspirated, because on the G63, as well as the newer 2016 to 2018, which is a bi-turbo, there's coolers here.
That's right.
And they can't be, well, as Joe says, anything's doable, but to date, no one's done it that I know of.
Not yet. Stay tuned. We've got stuff in the works. What Adam's trying to say is, this marks the last year of the naturally aspirated V8. And the reason this is important is there's not a lot of extra coolers up here. We have a radiator, we've got a transmission cooler, an oil cooler, everything we've kind of tucked in and made it look nice. But you're not stuck with a bunch of auxiliary coolers down here, meaning that you have a lot of options when it comes to off-road bumpers and modifications that you can do up here. And it's only available on this truck, and that truck. If you go to any of the other AMG motors that are turbocharged, you just don't have those options due to the extra coolers.
Or 16 and newer.
Or 16 and newer, exactly. Yeah. So that's why we landed on this truck, because it does represent the sweet spot of reliability, power, tech that just works really, really well.
Yeah, so. And I will say, for those that do want to go wheeling, I find that this in 4-low compared to the 4-liter bi-turbo in 4-low, this is less twitchy on the throttle.
Yes,
yeah.
Agreed.
And you don't have, I really prefer the naturally aspirated engine off-road. There's no turbo lag.
Right.
It's less twitchy. It's beautiful.
Same. Yep. Totally agree there. And reliability. That's it. Anything that's forced induction is extra complexity.
Yeah.
Reliability.
And with an exhaust, it's louder.
This sounds so freaking good.
It sounds so good. We'll do that for another day. So anyway, Joe, anything to add on this series of which G-Wagon someone should end up with?
I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
You have to know what your end game is. If you want something that you've got a few extra dollars to spend, you want something really nice you can live with on a daily basis and just feel impressed every time you get in, grab one of these. You're going to love it. If you're just getting started into the G world and you're looking for the best economy value for the buck, go for the MB USA early 2000s G500. That's not a bad truck, and I've had a bunch of those. I like those, and I fully support anyone that gets one and wants to do something truly special with it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be sorry. If you're looking for something that will absolutely appreciate and gain in value, grab yourself a pre-MB USA truck, i.e. a 2001 and older G500. You're going to love them. They're very occasional. You feel so special driving these. You get that wood, that leather, that analog feel, and it just feels so freaking good going down the road.
You're driving a slice of history.
You are.
And in a future video, we're going to be sharing why both Joe and I believe that these are future collectors in the making. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Which G-Wagon is right for you? Drop a comment below and share it with us. Again, thanks for tuning in. If you want our buyer's guide, click the link in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. And YouTube thinks you're really going to love this video. Jump into it, and I'll see you next time.